Hi everyone, this is Toiba from Toy Slab Creations. Today I'm going to be making this beautiful bag here. So for this project, I'm going to be needing about 800 gram of t-shirt yarn, 6.0 mm hook, stitch marker, tapestry needle, and also my bag accessories, the lock, my whole ring, and the chain. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start, I'm going to make a slip knot, and then I'll chain 30. So go ahead and chain 30, and I'll join you when I'm through with my 30 chains. So I've chained 30. So to start row 1, I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook. I need the second chain from the hook. I'm going to make a single crochet. And then I'll make a single crochet into each stitch across, so they have one chain left. So now I'll have 28 single crochets in all. So go ahead and make your 28 single crochets, and I'll join with my, after I'm done with my 28 single crochets. So I've made 28 single crochets, and I have one chain left. Into this last chain, I'm going to make 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. You can see we have kind of turned to the other side. So on the other end of the chain, I'm going to make 1 single crochet into each of them. So I'll have 28 single crochets on this side. So in all for row 1, I should have 59 single crochets. So go ahead and make a single crochet into the chains on the other hand, and I'll join you at the end of row 1. So I made it to the end of row 1. I have 59 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 2 now, I'm going to chain 1. I'll turn my work, and then I'll make a single crochet into the next 28 stitches. So I've made 28 single crochets. So into the next 3 stitches, I'm going to be making increases. So I'll go into the next stitch and make 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Into the next one, 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and into the next one, 2 single crochets, 2. 1 and 2. Then the remaining stitches, I'll make 1 single crochet each. So that's 28 single crochets in all. So I will join you when I'm through with the 28 single crochets on the other end. So at the end of row 2, I should have a total of 62 single crochets. So just go ahead and finish the remaining 28 single crochets, and I'll join you at the end of row 2. So I'm through with row 2. So moving on to row 3 now, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then I'll make a single crochet in the first 28 stitches, as we have been doing all along. So make the 28 single crochets, and I will join you for the increases. So just go ahead and do 28 single crochets, and I will join when I'm through with the 28 single crochets. So I've made my 28 single crochets. So next I'm going to be making the increases. So to start, in the next stitch, I'm going to make 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, I'm going to make an increase, so 2 single crochet into the next stitch. I made 28 single crochets, then I made an additional 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and I'll repeat that again. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then one more time, one single crochet in the next stitch, and then two single crochet in the next stitch. One and two. So with that, I'm sure it's my increases. So I'll go ahead and finish row 3 with a single crochet into the last 28 stitches. So I'll join you at the end of row 3. So I'm through with row 3 now. So moving on to row 4, I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'll make 28 single crochets. So once I'm through with my 28 single crochets, I'm going to come back to show you how to do the increases on row 4. So just go ahead and do your 28 single crochets, and I'll be back for the increases. So I've made 28 single crochets on row 4. For the increases now, I'm going to start with one single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So one, and the next stitch 2, one single crochet. Then I'll make my first increase, 2 single crochet in the next stitch. One and two. So I made 28 single crochets, and then I made one single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's my increase. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. So one single crochet in the next 2 stitches, one, the next one, two, one, and then we'll have another increase here, 2 single crochet, one and two. Then repeat one more time, one single crochet in the next 2 stitches, one, and then another one here, one, and then into the next stitch, 2 single crochets, one, two. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a single crochet in the remaining 28 stitches, and with that I'm through with row 4. So once I'm through with row 4, I'll come back to start row 5. So go ahead and just make 28 single crochets to finish off row 4. So I'm through with row 4 now, and I have 68 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 5 now, we'll start as usual, chain 1, turn, and then we'll go ahead and make 28 single crochets. So go ahead and make your 28 single crochets, and I'll join you for the increases of row 5. So I've made 28 single crochets on row 5 now. So for the increases, in the next row I'm going to make 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2, and then I'm going to make 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and the last one, 3. I'm just going to repeat that 2 more times. So 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then the last increase. So I'm going to make 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and the last one, 3. So now I'm going to go ahead and make 1 single crochet in the remaining 28 stitches of row 5. So at the end of row 5, I should have 71 single crochets in all. So I'll go ahead and finish row 5 off camera, and I'll come back to join you for row 6. So I'm through with row 5 now. I have 71 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 6, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then make 28 single crochets. So go ahead and make your 28 single crochets. I will join you for the increases. So I've made 28 single crochets. So for the increases now, I'm going to make 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. So I'll just repeat that 2 more times. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So repeat that once more. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then the remaining 28 single crochets, we need to make 1 single crochet each. So at the end of row 6, we have a total of 74 single crochets. So go ahead and finish, and I'll join you at the end of row 6. So I'm through with row 6, and I have 74 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 7, chain 1, turn, then we'll make 28 single crochets. So just go ahead and make 28 single crochets, and I will join you for the increases of row 7. So I'm through with 28 single crochets. So for the increases now, I'm going to make 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to do the remaining increases of camera. So just repeat the increase two more times. So 1 single crochet here, 2 single crochet here, 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Instructions on the screen. So just repeat the increases 2 more times, and then finish with 28 single crochet for the remaining stitches of row 7. So I'll go ahead and finish row 7, and I'll join you for row 8. So I'm through with row 7, and I have 77 single crochets. So moving on to row 8, start as usual, chain 1, turn, and then we'll make 28 single crochets. So go ahead and finish your 28 single crochets, and I will join you for the increases of row 8. So I'll make 28 single crochet on row 8. So for the increases now, I'm going to make 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to repeat the increases 2 more times. The instructions on the screen. So just repeat the instructions for the increases 2 more times, and then we'll finish row 8 with 28 single crochets for the remaining stitches of the row. And at the end of row 8, we should have a total of 80 single crochets. So go ahead and do that, and I'll join you at the end of row 8. So I'm through with row 8 and I have a total of 80 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 9 now, I'm going to chain 1, and I'll turn my work, and then I'll make 28 single crochets as usual. So once I'm through with my 28 single crochets, I'm going to be making the increases. So for the increases, I'm going to make one single crochet in the first 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. I'll repeat the increases 3 times, and then I'll finish row 9 off with a single crochet in the remaining 28 stitches of the row. So at the end of row 9, I shall have a total of 83 stitches. So just follow the instruction on your screen, and I'll join you at the end of row 9. I'm through with row 9 and I have 83 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 10, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then I'll make 28 single crochet. And once I'm through with 28 single crochet, I'm going to make the increases. So I'll make 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and I'll repeat that 3 times. So the instructions on the screen. Once I'm through with the increases, and then I'll finish the row with 1 single crochet in the remaining 28 stitches. So at the end of row 10, I should have a total of 86 single crochets. So just go ahead and follow the instruction on the screen, and I'll join you at the end of row 10. So I'm through with row 10 and I have 86 single crochets in all. So moving on to row 11, which is the final row, chain 1, turn, and then we'll make 28 single crochets as usual. So once you are through with 28 single crochets, you're going to make the increases. So 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and you repeat the increases 3 times. So the instructions on the screen, and then you finish the row with 28 single crochet in the remaining stitches of the row. So at the end of row 11, we have 89 single crochets. So with that, we are through with the main part of the bag, and then I'll come back to show you what to do next. So I've made it to the end of row 11, and this is what we have so far. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on this side of the project. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to make 1 single crochet on the side of each row, including the middle part where we started our project, all the way to the other end. So at the end of, when I get to this point, I should have 23 single crochets. So I'll start on the side of this row and then make a single crochet on the side of each row so I get to the other end. So I'll just go ahead and do that, and I'll join you when I get to this point. So I've made the 23 single crochets. You can see the edge kind of neater now. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to work on the sides. So you either take a new ball of yarn, or you make the sides first so that you don't have to cut off your yarn when you're making your project. So I'm going to be using a new yarn here. So to for my side now, I'm going to make a slip knot. Just set this aside and then we'll go ahead and make our side. Or you can make the sides first before you start the back, so you don't have to cut off your yarn to make the sides. So to start, I'm going to make a slip knot and then I'll chain 6. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll skip a chain, and the second chain from the hook, I'm going to make a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm through with row 1. For row 2, I'll just chain 1 and turn, and then make a single crochet into each stitch across. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for rows 3 to 10, I'll just go ahead and repeat row 2, chain 1 turn, and then make a single crochet into each stitch across. So just go ahead and do that, and I'll join you when I'm through with row 10. Then I'll go ahead and make the second sides too. So then I'll come back to show you how to join the side to the project. So I'm through with the sides of the bag. So next I'm going to be attaching the side to the bag. So to do that, I'm going to continue from where we left off. I'll chain 1 and then make a slip stitch, go into the back loop only of the first stitch on this side, and then I'm going to be attaching the side. So I'll go into the side of the first row here, and then I'll make a slip stitch. Then I'll continue like that, go into the back loop of the next stitch and into the side of the second row, and then make another slip stitch. So I'll continue like that till I get here, right? Then I should have used 10 stitches, and then I'll continue on the bottom here 5 stitches, and then I'll continue on the side here to another 10 stitches. So you know it will be 25 stitches. I've marked my 25th stitch here, so I'll just go ahead and finish attaching the side of camera, and I'll join you when I get to this point. So I'm through with attaching one side. That's what I have so far. So now I'm going to make a slip stitch in the back loop only all the way to this point here, and then from here I'm going to attach the second side. So I just go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll come back to show you once I'm through with attaching the second side. So I'm through with attaching the second side of the bag. So next I'm going to be making slip stitches in back loop only on this side of the bag. So I'll go ahead and start slip stitch into back loops only. By the time I get to this point, I should have 23 slip stitches in all. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Once I'm through with my 23 slip stitches, I'll just chain one and cut my yarn. Once I'm through with that, I'll come back to show you what the bag looks like. So I'm through with the 23 slip stitches. I chained one and cut my yarn. So the next thing now, I'm just going to go ahead and weave in my ends, and then I'll attach the bag accessories. So but already you can see what the bag looks like. It's beautiful. So I just go ahead and add the accessories, and then I'll come back to show you the final piece. So I'm through with adding my accessories, and you can see what my final piece looks like. So I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. You can find the free written pattern on my blog, and also the paid pattern in my Ravelry, Etsy, and Lovecraft stores. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in my next tutorial. Bye.